Lots to talk to Jim McMahon about this morning. Shadow Environment Secretary. Hi, it's good to see you.
Good morning.
Can we start with Sudan?
Yeah, of course.
Airlift underway, we believed. How embarrassing is it, or not at all, that we had to rely on Germany and France to bring out Brits before this?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say it's embarrassing in a sense that we're going to use this window during the ceasefire to bring back as many British nationals as possible. Clearly, our primary consideration is for the people who are there, who are fearful for their safety, and of course family here who are fearful for loved ones who are in Sudan. So in terms of our cross-party support for that effort, it's absolutely there. As with all these things, there will be a look back at some point, and that will begin to probe whether the response was quick enough. It will compare it to other countries, and that will run its course. But the primary consideration now is using that window of the ceasefire.
OK, let me ask you that question in a different way. After the 72 hours when that window closes, in theory, do we then revert to other countries bringing out our nationals?
Well, listen, we rely on the Foreign Office and the MOD to assess what's safe. What we don't want to do is to place civilians in a situation where, even for the best intent in trying to extract them to bring them back here to the UK, they're placed in a position where they're unsafe. And so we need to rely on the Foreign Office and the Ministry of Defence to do that, and really just make the most of that window we've now got, where we have a better degree, if you like, of safety. Talk
to me about forcing a vote on the water bill, sewers. You want to clean up our water systems, doesn't everybody? But the Conservatives are saying, the government is saying that if we did what Labour is suggesting, our water bills would go up threefold.
Well, I mean, listen, Labour has cleaned up the Tory mess before. When we came into government, our waters were dirtier. When Labour left office, they were the cleanest since before the Industrial Revolution. So that's our record. And what people want to know is that the place where they live, where they work and where they holiday are being treated with respect. People want to know that when their child is building a sandcastle on the beach, that it's safe for them to do that, and not that there's raw human sewage being pumped out at a rate of knots. And that's what's happening at the moment. Our rivers, our lakes and our seas are being completely disrespected. Now, we've been pushing the government for over a year to come forward with a plan that's credible, that holds water and will end the Tory sewage scandal. And they failed to do that. So today, we're moving our own bill that would end the sewage scandal by 2030. It's deliverable, it's affordable. And actually, the water companies, as well as the campaigners, say this is exactly what they've been waiting to see.
Excuse me, I almost sneezed. Yeah, but to answer my question, is it going to increase our water bills by 300%?
Well, the Tories will band around these figures, and they do.
You give me the right figure.
But they just don't hold any scrutiny off what the financial regulator say the water companies have existing resources. When you open your water bill, you will see there you are paying for sewage to be treated, and the fact is it's not being treated.
So now, there wouldn't be an increase in our water bills at all for this measure?
Off what have been clear, the water companies have existing resources by their own assessment.
Would it cost us any more on our water bills?
Well, people are paying now. But we want to make sure.
Would it cost us any more?
We've been very clear that within existing resources, there is money. Let's bear in mind, since privatisation...
You're not being clear, that's why I'm pressing you.
Just let me answer the question. Since privatisation, £72 billion has been taken out in dividend payments. It wouldn't cost even half of that to put right the sewage scandal. So if there's enough to take out nearly £2 billion every year in profit, there is enough money to put right this problem.
So how would you make that work if you were in government?
We've been very clear that that's got to come from that profit. The profit's got to be squeezed, because you can't draw out billions in profit if you're not fixing the water system. You're a water company in the water industry. One, by having a legally binding target to reduce all discharges by 2030, having financial systems in place. So actually water companies understand not taking action is more expensive than taking action. At the moment...
So you would penalise them, fine
Absolutely.
them.
Financial penalties, automatic penalties. So the second sewage is discharged, the payment meter starts running. And if there's no monitor in place, then we'll make sure there's a standing charge, assuming that water companies are dumping anyway. That will change behaviour, it will drive investment, and finally, we will end the Tory sewage scandal. OK, talk to me about, before I let you go, as voter ID. It's 5 o'clock this afternoon. If you've not got any photo ID, otherwise you can't register or you can't go and vote. Is that fair? What we see with the Conservatives is that they want to decrease the number of people who feel motivated to vote and who can vote. Labour doesn't think that's the right approach, but we need to be clear that many people...
So you don't support voter ID?
Well, we don't think that the evidence supports there being a problem. It's a sledgehammer to crack a nut. The instances of voter fraud are minute compared to the impact that this will have, so we don't think it's a proportionate response. But we're also saying to people, listen, prepare to vote. Don't allow this to put you off. If you have the ID that allows you to vote, then do vote. Make sure, if you've not got the ID, that you meet the deadlines, that you can vote. And listen, if the Tories really want to deny you your opportunity to cast your democratic right to vote, then don't allow them that opportunity and make sure that people register.
Before I let you go, are you happy sitting on the benches with Diane Abbott?
Well, listen, Keir's been very clear that the comments that were made...
Are you happy sitting on the benches with Diane Abbott?
Well, you know, Kay, that in any disciplinary action, and that's currently what we're going through as a
sitting on the benches with Diane
that Diane will be allowed to make her case. The party will assess that, and they'll come to a conclusion about what's the right response to that. Are you happy sitting on the benches with Diane Abbott? I'm very happy for the Labour Party complaint system to allow it to run its course and for that to conclude. But in terms of the comments weren't acceptable. Keir Starmer's been clear they weren't acceptable.
You said they were anti-Semitic, so she's an anti-Semite, according to your leader. Are you happy sitting on the benches with her?
It's important that the disciplinary process, the complaints process, is allowed to run its course. In terms of the comments, we've been absolutely clear that they cannot stand.
Absolutely
Diane was very clear in her apology to that, but she has got to account for why those comments existed.
She's an anti-Semite, according to your boss. Are you happy sitting with her?
About why those comments existed in writing in the way that they did.
I wouldn't be happy sitting next to an anti-Semite.
But you know, as I know, that the minute any disciplinary action is undertaken within a party, it's not for anybody to comment on that process. The boss called her an anti-Semite. So I'm going to allow it.
The boss called her an anti-Semite.
Well, the comments were clearly unacceptable.
Good to see you. Thank you.